Hello there, marchers and gamers alike. My name is the Drum Major, and welcome to a different sort of video today. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 killer ideas I had for the game last year, The Nightmare. This game came out a couple weeks ago on the Discord store, and I've been playing it a lot. It's been a lot of fun, but unfortunately I haven't been able to record any gameplay of it because for some reason my computer is in the dumps. Like, it just does not want to cooperate with me. It's really stupid, but that's not stopping me from at least giving you guys some sort of background gameplay. So I just recorded some from Oatmricker's channel. Go check him out if you want to see the full gameplay with sound and all that. But in this video, like I said, I'm going to be talking about 3 killer ideas I had for this game. The developers did say that eventually they're going to add more killers, more students, more maps, and more game modes to the game. So I figured, since I hadn't really seen any sort of videos like this or forums like this anywhere, I figured, why not, let's talk about some ideas that I had. So yeah, in this video we're just going to be going over 3 different killers. If you want to know why I'm doing the format that I'm doing, I will leave a link in the description to a YouTuber by the name of Sleep Biker who somehow found the lore of the killers, and I'm kind of going off the format that he had in the video, where I go over their age, height, their class, their interests, the lore, and then I'm just going to be going into what they look like, their executions, and what their ability in depth is. So without further ado, let's get started with my first killer, the Siren. The Siren is 39 years old, her height is 5 foot 5 inches, her class is Scout, and her interests are haunting stuff. The Siren is Eastside High's undead librarian. Her anger towards rowdy teenagers has allowed her to manifest herself into the physical plane of reality, even after her death. Screaming at students to deafen and disable them, she can phase through barricaded doors while physical to give unprepared students quite the scare. The quickest and smallest of the killers, she prefers to keep her distance until one student is left behind, then pounce in screaming for a quick kill. The Siren is adorned in a tattered dress, her feet hovering slightly above the ground. She has a pair of reading glasses planted firmly on the bridge of her small nose, and her hair is up in a bun. Her slip-ons are in great condition, and her entire appearance is slightly transparent. She can also summon a sharpened yardstick that resembles a spear, which she uses for her executions. The Siren can emit a deafening scream in front of her. Any student hit by the scream will grip their head in agony, be dealt 10 points of damage, and will not be able to move. They will remain stunned for a few seconds after the scream finishes, and the Siren will gain a short burst of speed if the scream hits a student. She can only scream once every few seconds, similar to the cooldown of the Strangler's chain grab, and she can also phase through barricaded doors, although she cannot attack for a few seconds after she's on the other side, leaving her vulnerable to attacks from students and turrets. When activating an execution from the front, the Siren lifts the student up with her supernatural powers and grips them by the throat before just screaming directly into their face, casually discarding their limp body after she has finished. When attacking from the side, the Siren drives her nails into the torso of the student, ripping and tearing mercilessly at them. When executing from the back, the Siren summons her yardstick, and with a single strike, slams it into the head of the student before making it vanish. When ambushing, location unknown, the Siren lets out a quick scream before impaling the student through the jaw with her yardstick, vanishing from sight after she has finished executing them. Now on to the second killer, the Grenadier. The Grenadier is 43 years old, he is 5 foot 9 inches, his class is Assault, and his interests are smoking stuff. The Grenadier is Eastside High's PE teacher turned violent killer. Armed with a baseball bat and an assortment of homemade gas grenades, he can hit these grenades from a distance in order to disorient students, then go in for an easy kill. If students get too close, he can detonate a smoke bomb, giving him space to make a quick escape. The Grenadier is wearing faded gray sweatpants that are shredded along the bottom of the legs, with holes decorating the rest of the pants. He's also wearing sneakers that are falling apart, a sweatshirt of Eastside High with bloodstains, and a whistle is hanging around his neck in perfect condition. He also has a striped baseball cap on his head, and around his waist is a ton of his homemade grenades. On his back is a bat bag, which holds several more baseball bats. The grenades are baseballs with a small green button on top, apart from one grenade on his side, which has a large red button. This is the Grenadier's smoke bomb. The stitching of the baseballs are ruined, falling apart at the seams, and where the baseball splits apart, mechanical parts can be seen. The Grenadier can use a gas grenade once every few seconds, similar cooldown to the Strangler's chain grab, but he can only use his smoke grenade once every 90 seconds, and both cooldowns cannot be cancelled by going into Predator mode, unlike the Strangler, who can reset his chain grab attack by going into Predator mode. The gas grenades act just like a trapped searchable, inverting the controls of anyone caught within the immediate area, slowing them, and disabling their ability to attack. They have the added bonus of a larger radius, but students are poisoned for less time the further away they are from the origin of the gas, and the gas cloud itself does not linger. The gas grenades explode on contact, whether that be the floor, a wall, or a student directly. Hitting a student directly will inflict 15 damage to them. The smoke grenade is similar to the one the students have access to, stunning anyone who is within the cloud of smoke, including the Grenadier, but students cannot crouch to avoid it, as it is released in a large cloud around the Grenadier. When executing from the front, the Grenadier will break both arms of the student, then step off to the side and do a golf swing at their head. When executing from the side, the Grenadier pummels the student repeatedly with his bat. When executing from the back, the Grenadier breaks his bat over his knee, following up by stabbing the student in the chest until he firmly plants the broken bat in their head, admiring his work as he rises to his feet, pulling a new bat out of his bat bag. When ambushing, location unknown, the Grenadier throws a gas grenade at the unlucky student who walked into the ambush, causing them to cough. After a second, they look up to see the Grenadier just before he delivers a swift uppercut swing to their head. Now onto the final killer, the Traitor. The age of the Traitor is unknown. His height is 6'4", his class is heavy, and his interests are creating stuff. No one knows what the Traitor is. Preferring to appear as an incredibly obese man, he can disguise himself as a student to lure his prey into a false sense of security before ambushing them. Able to absorb tons of damage and blend in with the group, his greatest enjoyment is spreading panic and distrust through the survivors as he picks them off one by one. As stated, the Traitor's main form is a tall and incredibly obese man wearing ill-fitting clothes. His stomach has red stretch marks along the lower curves of the gut, and his face is covered in acne. He is not wearing any shoes, his hair is incredibly messy, and his fingers and toes are very short and pudgy. While standing still, activating the Traitor's ability will allow him to appear as one of the students. While in this form, he can move and sprint at the speed of the students, enter vents, and pick up objectives. He cannot interact with searchables, be trapped by traps, use the selected student's class ability, or save other students. He can still open trapdoors while disguised, however. Scouts cannot reveal him if they are looking at him, but their scanner will show that the killer is nearby, potentially giving away the killer's ruse. If the Traitor wishes to attack, he can either activate his special ability to quickly reform into his killer form, or he can grab a student to trap them as he reforms. If a student is grabbed, they will not be able to move or perform any actions until either the killer reforms himself, at which point he will throw the student forward, or they are rescued by another student, which can only be performed while the killer is in his reforming animation. While reforming, the Traitor can still take damage, and his reformation time is slightly longer if he's grabbed a student. Phasing in and out of Predator mode follows the same rules of vision and proximity as usual, and going into Predator mode will bring the Traitor out of his student disguise. When executing from the front, the Traitor puts his foot on top of the student's head before lifting his other foot and letting all his weight be placed on their skull. When executing from the side, the Traitor lets himself free fall on top of the student, crushing them beneath his weight. When executing from the back, the Traitor transforms into a student and sits down on top of the student being executed, slowly reverting back to his main form and slowly suffocating the student. When ambushing, location unknown, the student falls to the floor after the Traitor is revealed, who casually walks over the student's body, crushing their bones until he finally stomps on their head. And that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to these killer ideas. Please let me know what you think, let me know your ideas, and I know that this is still kind of a new concept, especially because the game just came out, and the developers haven't added any sort of new content yet, besides a few patches to weapons and balance changes and stuff like that. But I wanted to see what this would be like, I wanted to see what I could come up with, and I think I did a pretty good job. I think the abilities are unique, I think they'd be fun to use, I think the killers could definitely fit in with the kind of random yet creepy, like, school vibe. I especially like the, the Grenadier. He was the original concept I came up with, and I really like the idea I gave him, with him being the PE teacher and his use of the baseball bat and homemade grenades. That is by far my favorite killer idea out of the three, but let me know which one you guys like the most, which one you think could possibly be a little imbalanced, and yeah, just let me know general thoughts, your ideas for killers in the future that they might add to Last Year the Nightmare. And anyways, my name is the Drum Major, and you all know the drill.